Life. So, hi Abhinav, it gives me immense pleasure and pride to invite you here again into the Young Corporates Meet. And our very own alumni students is here. That's Abhinav Raj, one of the most successful and the most dexterous one. I would say he had been both hardworking and he had really made it to the mark in not only India but abroad with the MNC that he's working with as a program manager, Amazon Bangalore. So 2016-18 batch, I'm sure you remember 2016 as one of the most critical years wherein demonetization hit the Indian market to the worst possible. But yes, we still had gym students making their mark and achieving all their dreams and plans by getting across into the corporate world. So with this, I welcome you, Abhinav, here and we'll just see how the story unfolded for you. So, loads of questions quizzing on my mind. How come, Abhinav, you just need to, share your story with all of us here? How did it, from nowhere to everywhere that Amazon is into everyone's pocket now? So, how did you think of, getting ahead into an e-commerce industry, which was at that time quite nascent, I would say, 5 years ago, people hardly knew and believed into Amazon. So maybe into e-commerce in total. So how did you thought of, going across and how your journey is into Amazon at the moment?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jyoti ma'am. Thank you for the warm welcome and such a nice introduction. And thank you, James, for having me here today. It is absolutely, I'm feeling honored to be part of this connect. Very true and very right question, Jyoti ma'am, that 2016 was a year to remember, especially with demonetization. And then in 2018, we were, the campus placement was going on. It was definitely, as confident as I am today when I'm talking about Amazon, I was not equally confident at that point in time. And in fact, no one was, because we were not sure of whether this e-commerce industry is going to boom, or like what is future for this. I would say that like I did, every student should do. We need to do some kind of homework and we need to take some calculative risk, and this is what I believe. And I did the same thing 4 years ago. I did some homework and did my, kind of research to understand the growth pattern of this industry, and I felt confident that Amazon, being leader in this sector, and the way Amazon was already, into Indian market, I was confident that yes, this decision is something that I should be taking on, and I'll not regret in future. So that is I did. At the same time, there were, I remember there was one more company, Khemji Ramdas, where I was able to clear the first round, and I was, in for the interviews round. But much before that, Amazon came in, and I decided not to move ahead with Khemji Ramdas. Reason being that there was a ask to relocate to altogether a different nation, and Amazon was giving me opportunity to stay in country and stay in my, this Delhi NCR city, and the opportunity was so immense. I thought of taking this risk, and it is worth.
So it's better to stay in country and go global rather than to go global and then remember about India. So I think
Absolutely.
this was the best decision probably, so that we can connect on a local level also rather than to wait for the passports and visa permissions. Yeah, none of us could ever imagine about pandemic, but yes, it has made so many restrictions here. Okay, so Abhinav, I have another question in mind. I mean, you come from, you hail from another part of the country, and then coming over to Delhi. How did was that transition? What was struggles? Struggles. I mean, here your emotional and mental struggles. How did you convince yourself to move from your comfort zone to a different city, then thinking of establishing yourself here, traveling all the way from Gurgaon to Delhi? Into the campus. So, how was this transition? How did you make up your mind? Yeah.
So this is very difficult question, Jyoti ma'am, to be very honest. A reason being, I hail from a small town in Bihar, which is Siwan. And it was definitely not easy for me to first of all prepare myself that leaving my hometown for higher education and settling here in Delhi NCR, such a metro city, right? And then I was relocated to Gurugram, and then traveling from Gurgaon to Delhi on a day-to-day basis. These were not easy things. But then couple of things that I always thought of. The number one was that this journey which I am going through is to shape myself, and that has definitely helped me. This is one. Second is that we need to step out of our comfort zone, right? Had it been if I never left my hometown, I was still I would have been at the same position today. So we need to take that risk again. It is all about what is our decision at what right and what time it is. So these were the two things I always felt. And number three is that when we are into our confined zone, we do not get to see, or we do not get exposure of what is there, what is waiting for me outside. So we need to expose ourselves to something which is not in my control. Maybe that is going to help us groom us for future and give us some more challenging time and prepare us for something which is coming.
Right. Right. So that's really. I want you to send a message to all the listeners here who are the students at the moment, and probably people who are connected with us on the online live mode, I would say. This generation has somehow had been stuck at home, thanks to their preview of pandemic. Yeah. So the now coming over in the offline zone is another level of challenge for them. So what message and how do you think? And I'm sure the same story would be at your end as well. When I talk about a few employees of yours who had been comfortable working from home, so how do you really motivate them to come to the organization, or how would you motivate these students who are listening at the moment to probably follow your footsteps?
A couple of messages, Jyoti ma'am. Number one is that, for example, we have met, right? I was coming to campus, I know you. So in my current organization, I mean, especially during this pandemic time, it is very difficult for us to put a face to a name. Like, I know how Jyoti ma'am looks like, but in future, if I do not get to see you, do not get to meet you, probably once we will meet, I'll not know you. I'll ask you, who are you, right? So that is now missing. So we definitely ask our team members or our peer members here at least to meet with some social precautions, of course, but if possible, once a month or maybe a quarterly, to understand how we are, and just some meeting. For college, if students, I mean, if this is a challenge, I would say you are you need to come out of it first. Reason being, if you are sitting at your home, there is you are kind of restricting your learning, because while you are in campus, you will get so much of exposure, and you are missing on so much of things, is what I can say. Yeah.
So I think probably this generation has not known the best parts here. So probably they don't know what they are really missing upon. Right,
Yes.
right. And if I talk about there are, few of them, in fact, the entire batch is scheduled for an industrial visit tomorrow.
Oh,
But
nice.
yes, but then these restrictions, they just pop up overnight. Whether we talk about this demonetization or we talk about these yellow alerts and others. So, what is that special precaution that Amazon is doing at the moment to keep people safe?
Everything, ma'am. You name one thing. For example, Amazon has conducted multiple round of vaccination drives. So they are not only trying to vaccinate their employees, but their relatives and their known members as well. For example, I took my mom to my office for vaccination. We have received all those necessary kits related to the face shield, or the masks, or PPE kits, or sanitizers. You name it, Amazon has given us. So in terms of precaution, in terms of taking care of employees, they have done a lot. And not just this, God forbid, if there was a situation when any employee was tested positive, they have also helped financially in terms of providing aid. And this is over and beyond the medical insurance or health reimbursements that they have. So they have done a lot.
That I've always heard about it, that Amazon had been, I just happened to had an interaction, of course due to privacy issues I can't name the person. Yeah, so they said that it was really nice to have a few people, whom I interacted with. They said that Amazon is amazing when it comes to talking about employee care. So where you talk about, once they get to know that somebody is suffering from or has the history, family history of diabetes, so even they are provided with sugar-free tablets. Is that true? Still true?
Absolutely, absolutely. And not only that, I want to quote one more example here. Like when this pandemic was at its peak, be it the first wave, be it the second wave, there was a group of people who came forward. Like Amazon helped creating a small community which was divided city wise, and we had volunteers, and we had special arrangement of oxygen cylinders. Amazon had contracted with multiple five-star hotels. A hotel room was arranged for employee and their family members who were suffering with COVID. So lot many facilities were granted, not just what I have just highlighted.
So, guys, all those who are listening, the message goes from here that Amazon is not only amazing as an employer, but amazing as an employee take care specialist as well, I would say. I mean, taking care at these sensitive times, I think this is which is most going to hit on everyone. So, I think this is branding as well and really coming up with human care needs. Okay, so here I would like to question you next, Abhinav. Now, talking about in a team, I mean, of course, I mean, Amazon is into working on a team basis format. So when it comes to promotion, and there's a very difficult time that out of 50, it's, let's say there are only 5 who get promoted. So how how do come not into that 90% category, nor how to be that uncommon person who gets into this 10% category zone. And not only this, but further, when you would say, so this 90% is going to be very jealous of you. I mean, again, being human. So how to handle these two strides? So one is coming into this 10%, being uncommon, staying with common people, and then how to handle the common people biases that happens to you next.
Oh, yeah, absolutely true. I have experienced such a situation in my journey as well. But then, because it is something which is related to my organization, I'll not be quoting the exact situation here. But then, see, when I was a student, I faced something on similar line as well. So I'll be quoting that example here. Number one is that how to put yourself into those 5% who gets the better opportunity or who is able to clear those opportunities. I would like to answer this question first. See, if we have 180 students in GEMS Kalkaji, and if one company is coming, that company is not biased for 5 students. That company comes open-handedly for all those 180 students, and everyone who has that caliber, company picks them up. So we need to understand that we need to be at our best whenever there is an opportunity. It should not be like, oh, I was not ready for that time, I was not comfortable sitting into interviews or the group discussions. We need to be prepared for that. That is one. And I give this example to my team members, and I would like to mention it here. Rome was not built in a day, we all know that. At the very same line, we should not be waiting for that opportunity to come. We should work hard to make sure that we are ready every single time when there is an opportunity. So do not wait for that placement email to come through that there is a company coming in, then you will start working on yourself. Please do not do this. This is very wrong approach. Rather, you need to be prepared every single time. You are not, you never know when a company comes in and when you are ready, when you get placed. So this is one small message on this. And second, how to handle that grudge or maybe something when you get placed and your fellow members are yet waiting for that opportunity. So this completely depends on the maturity level that individual has got. Reason being, this is, I would say, when I am placed, I'll only give credit to my luck, because there are 180 students and I was the lucky one who got placed. So it is not about I am more deserving or my next person is not deserving. Please do not hold such feelings. Everyone is part of GEMS family. Everyone is studying there for a better future and a better career. So the matter of time is that you get placed early, you get placed late, but the thing is that if you are working, if you are dedicated towards, you'll definitely go through.
So I can understand that, that yes, people do feel bad, and rejection is, I think, one of the worst feelings to any human, for somebody who's been craving more for it. But I think, Abhinav, it's not really about luck. It's about your entire personality. I mean, people are hired, I would say, and promoted given their personality. So it has much to relate with your mental processes and communication skills. So, in case you think that there are other skills or probably some other X factor that you think you had, or people in general have, because it's not only you getting hired, there were others also. So, what do you think? What happens really in the interview across the table? Because I'm sure that most people who will listen to this recording, even after we would have left this platform, so somewhere people want to really know either what to pray to God to get across the jobs that they want, or either that what really to communicate during the interview, that yes, you are hired for sure, when you know that the competition is far and wide. So how should you rest your case? How should you present? I think this is somewhere a neuroscientific question that we are still struggling for answers, the many of the interview candidates who would listen out here. So just help them with some extra tip, because Amazon is one of the most covetous brand we already had in mind. But after listening to you, I think people will have more excitement and that eagerness and wait that will it come to the campus to hire them. So your suggestions here.
Absolutely. So okay, so talking about interviews and what should be, in our mind, how we should go through it, is that please understand you are not alone who will be interviewed for that position. There are hundreds of students, and not just gyms, there are hundreds of colleges as well. What is unique is you. Abhinav is Abhinav, Joel is Joel, Akash is Akash, Jyoti is Jyoti. Every individual brings some kind of individual characteristics. Instead of copy pasting some other answers, please try to be original. I have experienced this. At the very first, I saw so many resumes. For example, if I am receiving 10 resumes, trust me, 5 are same. Apart from the name and number, everything remains same. See, communication is one skill. Everyone can mention it in their resume, right? But how communicative you are, it is important. And the same thing when you are going through your interview, do not read the answers which are there on internet. Tell me about yourself is one such common question I assume that every interviewer must ask you. It is important for you to understand that you should not be answering one answer which is given by all the students. It is your answer. Frame it for yourself. Try to introspect how has been your journey, what is bringing you to this position, why you are looking forward to move into this organization, and then try to answer everything in your perspective. If I remember my time when I was being interviewed by Amazon, I was totally talking about personal experiences that I faced. For example, I had some internship experience, and there is a question of there was a situation where you were not able to deliver, but then you worked hard to make sure you are at least not failing. You are not delivering, but then you are not failing at the same time. Then I remembered a situation where I was not able to deliver during my internship. XXX were the actions that I took. And from where we started, from where till where we achieved, this was the answer that I framed and I gave. It was not a copy paste answer, it was my original thing, and that was liked by my interviewers. This is just one example that I have quoted. There will be hundreds of questions which you will go through. Only thing which is important is for you to be original. Try to relate to your past, relate to your experiences, and by doing this you will stand out of every single student, because no one will have a common experience what you are having, right? So that is small message that I wanted to give about personal interviews.
Right. But I think there is still much more to go, which we still need to unfold. So, Abhinav, the story is not over, and the success story is going to be really long. So adding another chapter to your life, right from being hired into a profile, then escalating, and now moving from the capital of the country to Bengaluru. Why this transition? I saw that status of yours mentioning the farewell, and I was like, how can that happen? But then this farewell is from the city in total. So any strategic plans for the same, that Delhi is coming with some more restrictions to you? Is it like that?
No,
Or
no, nothing on that sort.
yeah, then.
It is, I can say it is a professional decision that I have taken, looking forward to long-term goal that I am aspiring for. In my current role, of course, I was doing fairly well, but then I thought of challenging myself a little more. And with this decision, I'll be moving into managing new projects, new responsibilities. We'll be moving into new city altogether, knowing new culture and new people. So it will be a new challenge, not on a professional front, but as well as on a personal front as well. So I'm preparing myself for that, and looking into my longer picture, I have decided to move on to new challenges.
Okay, so in a world where everyone is wanting to be comfortable and secure with some vaccinations, how can you think of moving to another city, unsettling yourself here, then settling yourself there? It's a phase. It's not in a day or two. It takes a few days. So why this challenge? Any special reason or something that we should congratulate on the personal front as well, along with the new job location? Is it?
No, no. So I have been uncomfortable every time, Jyoti ma'am. I'll be very honest with that. I mean, in my 12th, I was having biology. I am a life science graduate from Delhi University. 10th and then 12th in biology to life science graduation in Delhi University to aspiring to clear CAT and then to get into gyms and that too into marketing and finance with no connection of biology or the traditional academics that I had. So at every phase of my life, I feel that I have been uncomfortable. I have received multiple challenges and I was able to break through. And then moving into gyms, traveling from Gurugram to Delhi, covering close to 60 kilometers every single day for 2 years. So this was definitely not a comfortable situation for me. Then I really want to maintain this tradition, at least for myself. Let's not sit into comfort zone for a longer time period.
Okay, so here's Abhinav Raj, who is comfortable being uncomfortable. So I would tag you with this. So I'm sure that many of us are really discomforted, even with the thought of traveling these days, especially. So I think it takes a lot in your stride to travel. Well, talking next, Abhinav, the next question that I have in mind, and this is what a few other students have been asking me on the campus here. So there are a very few of them who come from science background, in fact, engineering, BTech and all, and they really question and quiz about that. What if that they want to get into this PGDM zone? What will their future be like? And is the scientific background going to help them in both personal and professional way? So, what's your answer to it?
No, I mean, there are so many questions that you have asked in one line. So, to answer this question, first, please do not keep this apprehension in mind that if you are from science background, how you will be able to go through PGDM. PGDM is not about a specific background that you bring. However, if you are aware of this PGDM, try to bring in as much of diversity as possible into campus. We have art student, we have commerce student, we have science student, we have whatnot. And the beauty is that as a team we learn, right? So if we have so much of diversity, we get to learn from each other. If you are coming from a science background, one thing which is there with you is the logical skills or the technical skills. When I was in my chemistry lab, I used to think, if I should mix this with this, what will be the solution? Now in my corporate journey, I am thinking of, I have two solutions, what should I pick up? So you have some skills with you. You will definitely evolve with time and you will get to learn as soon as and when you grow. So coming from a particular background, it is not about science either. Coming from any background should not restrict you, and PGDM will definitely shape you the way you want to, right? uh, yeah, I think, yeah, I answered this question.
Yeah, so there's another question which is popping up on my screen, which says that Abhinav is usually spelled with V at the end. So there's W. So is there some astrological reason behind it?
I can be honest because this is my campus and my students. I can be honest here. So there was one mistake that I committed. I was in school. My father told me and my grandmother told me that my earlier I was known by Ronak Raj name. So my grandmother and my father told me that you need to get your name changed before you move into eighth standard, because eighth was one phase where registration for 10th and onwards was happening. So I mean, I was having a understanding that my name which is there in 8th standard will be there for lifelong. So upon recommendation of my papa and my dadi ji, I went to my school and gave I took a hint from them what is something that I should be called as going forward. So they gave me ki Abhinav bol dena. And then I went to school and I told my teacher, please change my name to this. And they asked me what should be the spelling, and I wasn't sure, to be very honest. So whatever came to my mind, I just wrote there. I wrote ABHINAW, and till now this question is very prominent for me, that why you have W in your end and not V.
So I think yes, probably this this is what we say for otherwise as well, that some astrological reasons followed in the Bollywood, that yes, spellings do make a difference in you getting a hit into your professional zone. So probably I think that was one question that probably people critically had on their mind. So I
Well,
think
that could
people
be.
are.
I mean, I'm not sure. I do not believe in astrology or something like that. But then, if I go back and check, maybe they can tell me, because you do not have V. There is a different
Yes.
reason altogether.
So you are somebody who is spotted on the list differently.
Yeah.
All right. So going ahead, there is if there's something that you would like to share with us right from Amazon, some personal learning of yours that you think that the entire audience will be benefited, or maybe personal, with some advice on the personal life.
See, in Amazon, I have learned one thing, and this is about diversity and inclusion. I am big fan or follower of this thing. So we have a DEI club here, which is diversity, inclusion, and equity, wherein we believe giving right opportunity to someone who is not well equipped. And we do not believe in equality. For example, one size does not fit to all is something that we believe. This is one. Diversity is that there should be no unconscious bias. And this is from my personal experience. I have learned we have 180 students. At that point in time, when you are sitting in your college, you must be feeling that I am here, someone is there in IIM, someone is there in IIT. Do not have those feelings. After certain time period, all of us will sit together, and trust me. So unconscious bias is going to harm you, and this is by my personal opinion. At the same time, we should respect diversity and we should be inclusive. We should work as a team, we should talk as a team.
With this, Abhinav, there's a question that pops up on my screen here. At times, we say that we are our worst enemies. I think there's nobody who else does this diversity. It's like we who look ourselves in this shade, that probably I'm not that good looking, or probably I do not have that great height, or that good family background or something. So I think there are so many prejudices, the shades of it that goes from white to gray to black, and it keeps switching colors. So your advice into how should you think of or guiding people on this, that they really need to have an inclusive oneself first, and then to look at others, or probably to comment or not to comment. Because at times we just had a discussion, and they say that constructive feedback is what people look forward to. Unfortunately, that feedback is not constructive. It's most of the times destructive. So your advice into how to think about oneself into one shade, because I think it all comes from within. So once people are prejudiced, so it will carry a difference there as well.
Absolutely. Very true. It comes from within. And this is something that we need to start thinking about, that this is not common. Okay. So now tell me one thing. You have planted a tree. Sorry, you have planted a seedling which has grown up and it is now looking as a very well settled tree. Do you even remember what was background of that tree? No. While we know everything has its own existence, but after certain point in time, everyone will look or everyone will achieve what they're aspiring for. So instead of focusing on the backgrounds, we need to focus on the journey that we are, traveling through, we are sailing through. Everyone brings individual characters. This is something that I mentioned in the very initial phase of our discussion today. If there are 180 students, everyone will be unique and everyone will have something different amongst them. So let us focus on that thing. Let us nurture ourselves and to bring that difference as the best of myself, and let us use it as our strength.
No, but Abhinav, I have somebody writing up to me that negativity has become the next necessity. I mean, in today's world, yes, in a way that in case you can run someone down, you can make yourself secured into the job, and of course the others might be doing the same to them. So probably that is what they are feeling at the moment. So when negativity is so much of a stress factor, it is somewhere getting into whether you hold on to the job or not depends on whether you can run someone down or not. So, how do you think that this phenomena should be taken care of? Since you are a manager at the moment, so how do you think should these HR sensitive issues need to be managed and addressed?
Very valid question. So there are two things. One, if I have one gold metal and I have a bronze metal, both of them look similar, right? But gold knows the actual value, and the bronze knows the actual value of themselves. So this is something that we need to understand. And the second thing is that uh, instead of marking down someone, or maybe having that thought that because I am doing better because someone else has failed to deliver, why we are not focusing on improving ourselves? Okay, let me give you example of one 100-meter relay race. There are two players who are running a race, and one is winning because one is not running that fast, right? We can think of that way. But then why are we not thinking the one who is winning because he has put in that extra effort, he has worked hard to improve himself or herself? We should think that way. Instead of marking someone down, we should work effortlessly to improve ourselves. And once you are improving, definitely you will win. It is not about losing someone, it is about how better you are from yourself when you were there yesterday.
So the competition lies within. So it's all about me versus me today versus me yesterday. Okay, so here another question. So at times HR says that we really need to run people down so that they have that fire in from within that they can do something better. And at times this negativity does result into positivity of results. So what's your comment? Do you think for making people rather more productive to enlarge their job profile, is it like running them down at times make gives them a rather better and a fair start?
So I'll say it is not running them down or marking them down. I mean, we call it healthy competition when we are in Amazon. So definitely competition is required. If there was no Flipkart, there was no Amazon. If there is no Abhinav, there is no any one student also existing, right? So there needs to be some sense of competition, because if I do not have a benchmark set already, I'll be all alone, and I'll not be sure if I'm doing it right or not. So to have something, at least we need to have a benchmark that this is something that one person has delivered, and we need to be better than this. So have something set for yourself, and it is not a harmful competition. Be friendly and try to deliver. Better than you were delivering yesterday. One thing that I'll definitely want to share, on the same line, especially related to such a tough feeling, because we all are human. We have somewhere or the other we get to have this. One of my leader in Amazon gave me this beautiful lesson, and I'll never forget this: that we are not here to make friends, and we are not here to make enemies either. So we are here to perform. We are here to deliver. We are here to speak to everyone, but it is all about work, right? It is never personal. So try to work on your professional skills, try to improve yourself, and leave others behind. If you are improving, you'll always win.
So with this, I have another question popping up. So as we were discussing about diversity, so they said that as Warren Buffett also mentioned, that it is advisable to keep your investments into different baskets, so that even if one basket is rotten, we don't really tend to lose. So how about your comment on some of your employees may or may not be that you would be knowing about it. So what if they are into having their own personal venture also, probably into, uh, having some, because Amazon might be probably giving them some employee benefits, and they would be having their own personal profit coming vis-a-vis the salary. And of course, it's diversity, and which is appreciated as an HR policy also. So how about the financial health? So would you recommend them, the let's say the moment you come to know that yes, they are carrying their own personal venture, would you continue and would you also subscribe to it, or would you dump it down? What will be your take on this?
So I'll not answer this question because this is little confidential to the policy of my organization. However, as per the labor law, if I talk about in general, we are not allowed to do multiple business at a time,
Okay.
especially when we are into a full-time job. So, and this is as per the government of India law, right? I
Right.
am not allowed to work in two different organizations at the same time in a full-time position. So I hope this answers.
All right, that's great. So, students, some legal aspect to the jobs here. So, how to hold on to your job, get more promotions, and yes, how to keep your success both in the growth mode and to grow. All right. So, we'll go for a small quiz here so that we somehow get you back on the campus. So, okay, we start here. So it's a rapid fire round. I'll be asking you three questions. Let's see how much do you remember us. All right. The faculty who introduced HR to you.
Sanya ma'am,
Tanya ma'am, okay. You remember Palak ma'am for?
IT.
Okay. I think she was your class coordinator as well.
I mean,
And
I'm talking about subject. However, she has always been very supportive.
yes.
It is her big contribution to shape. To shape me where I am today.
And
So
let
big.
me tell you, it's her birthday today.
Oh my God! Very happy birthday to you, madam.
Right. So she's writing that she's thankful that you wished. All right. Last but not the least, Neela ma'am, you remember her for?
Global economics, newsletters, so many things to remember Neelam ma'am for.
Right. One place that you're fond of, which is near to the campus.
Canteen.
Canteen. That's right. That's right. Any one fond memory from gyms?
So there are so many. I was thinking about it. I mean, please do not ask this question into rapid round because I'll not be able
Okay.
to answer.
All right. And in one word, if you would have to summarize your entire PGDM journey.
Amazing.
Amazing. And that's exactly what Amazon is. Uh, so amazing Amazon and amazing journey from PGTM, Jim Skalkaji. So with this, may I invite Dr. Anju, ma'am, since she had been coordinating a lot with you. So it's difficult to chase talent in the market. And yes, one of them being Abhinav Raj, the program manager from Amazing Amazon. Anju, ma'am, may we please have you here? Anju, ma'am.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Jyoti Madam. And thank you so much, Abhinav. It's so good to see you smiling, right? It doesn't look as if, it has been so long, right? You have not been with us. Today only in the morning, I was talking to Palak ma'am, right? As I always say, Palak ma'am ne tumhe god liya hai. So I was just talking to her regarding you. And yes, we all have all the appreciation for you because you have been so sweet. You have always responded, the similar way as you have been a student here, right? And so have, your prompt response and your humbleness. You are so down to earth in spite of it that you are doing so well in life, right? And thank you so much, Abhinav, right? And it's just that it's so wonderful to see you guys, right?
Yeah,
And thank you so much, Abhinav, for accepting being here, right? I cannot, express in few words, right? How good you people have been in the campus. And yes, once you are out the campus, in your corporate world, and you're doing so wonderful and still so humble and grounded. So we really, really appreciate this thing in your batch, especially, I'll say, your batch, especially.
yes,
Thank you
yes.
so much, Abhinav.
Oh, absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much. And I wanted to, pay thanks to the entire faculty of GEMS, because the way I am here, it is all because of the shape that you have given. So it is not individual contribution. No one can be perfect. And every now and then, I have been getting learning from you, from all the faculty of GEMS. So it is because of you all.
Yes, that's Thanksgiving. But before you go, I would really ask you this one last question. So, Abhinav, you mentioned somewhere unconscious bias when you were telling. So, how to make people biased when we talk about the customer preference to be the continued patron to the brand? So, how do you ensure that they continue to subscribe to your services? What's that one thing that Amazon is doing specially?
So one thing that Amazon has been striving for is, so if you check what is vision of Amazon, you will read about Amazon is aspiring to become Earth's most customer-centric organization,
Right.
and we strive for the same, and we put all our efforts into the similar direction.
So just that you've mentioned customer centricity, please explain a little here.
Yeah, I'll. So Amazon only believes in one formula: if customers have a frustration-free experience, they'll come back. And this is what we do, right? If you have purchased something which has gone wrong, we have a timeline that you may contact us back, and you don't even need to contact us back. You have application handy, you may initiate the refunds or return requests. We will not ask you any question, we will try to help you in all possible ways. So Amazon has been trying to shape itself in a way that it is becoming better day by day, and it is user friendly. It is going to improve the customer's experience.
So, Abhinav, that you've been there for almost, I would say, half a decade, 5 years with Amazon now, into the service industry in total. So, how would you ensure that if there is any of the service professional who is listening to us at the moment, what is that one tip that you will help people with, that something which is intangible, let's say education, let's say talking about e-commerce, and India had been one such market wherein people see and buy, they at least touch and feel and then they decide to buy. So how did Amazon revolutionized the entire thinking pattern, feel pattern for the purchase purposes? Or is there any training that you give to your employees, and your message to the budding service professionals out here?
So if I'm talking about the budding service professionals, see, business will continue as it is. What is important is that you need to be there in the mind of your customers when we are thinking about one particular service. What I mean by saying this is, if you tell me e-commerce, Amazon will pop up in my mind all of a sudden at the very first, no other company. Why? Because not only me, all the customers have so much of hassle-free experience were shopping with Amazon, and this is service any customer is going to expect from you. If you are sitting up to the expectation of the customer, you will be remembered, and customer will come to you. And if one customer is going with a happy smile on his or her face, that customer is going to bring you hundreds of customers. So try to bring that smile on face of every single customer of yours.
Right, right. And here, before we really close for the day here, so your one advice here, what should people, people I think still have that overlapping thoughts. At times they are wanting to go for offline education. At times they're like online is good, better, best. So how do you think they should make up their mind to go ahead with higher education first? Because I think much is rampant on Google and various other, online courses. So how should they think about any person who is wanting to work for a company as good as Amazon? So what do you think they should do? How to decide about whether or not to go for an offline or an online course, and then some 3 to 5 reasons that you can help them propagate that yes, they should come over to GEMS Kalkaji to study and make their career.
A very first reason is that 5 years down the line, you are not going to remember what you learned virtually. Trust me, you will never remember that. If you come to college, you will experience those things. This is one reason. Second, you are missing on so many memories, buddy. If you are there in campus, you will get involved in so many activities, you will get into so much of things, and they will be memory for life, trust me. These are the two things. Number three being the availability and accessibility of all the faculty members. I am sure they must be available over a virtual medium as well, but then a physical interaction and taking all those wise words from your faculty when you are there totally sense differently, and that is something which you are missing on. I mean, my personal suggestion will be, please do visit campus.
Yes. And well said, Abhinav. I think the story has just started and is still a long way. We are going to write a book, and probably you've just completed a chapter of Delhi here, and the chapter of Bengaluru is yet to start. We're all good. So here's wishing you loads of luck and best wishes to come your way, both in your personal and professional life. I think much is due and overdue now. So, yeah, so going forward, just recalling, I just happened to recall those few, metro rides, probably, that we were interacting during the metro and probably on the way to the campus. I completely agree that, offline interactions are more live than those online or live interactions on the virtual mode. So I think that's more about a background check onto, what is there behind wherever the chair is, rather than to know about the person's background in total. So guys, all those who are still into their thinking zones or whether to come online or offline, so message comes from the program manager, Amazon Bengaluru, that yes, offline education still has a long way to go and carrying more impact into your personal and professional lives. So I think the best lessons of success, as you mentioned, some of them write on their status, the best is yet to come. We need to have patience. So I think we need not only have patience, but we also need to have strategies and that discipline in mind that yes, something best is really just around the corner. It's just that we need to observe and accept. So with this, thank you so much, Abhinav, to share your most precious time and share all your insights with all of us here today. The session was so interactive. I really don't want to, put this session at pause, but I know that the time is running really fast. You have some loads on your schedule here. So thank you so much, Abhinav, to join us, and looking forward to whenever you come to Delhi for an offline session as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jyoti ma'am. It was honor for me to be here. But then before we wrap up this session, I just have one small message. And because I was on the other side of table at least 4 or 5 years back, so I can totally relate to. Some of the students must be having this feeling that I do not belong for PGDM. I do not share commerce background. Why I should be doing this? I could have cracked CAT, but then unfortunately I wasn't able to. I could have been into IIMs, but I am not. You must be going through certain complex feelings, right? And it is not about what you could have done. It is about what you are doing right now. I would have been, I could have become a pilot, but I am not, right? So we need to understand where I am right now. And a small message is that if in case you did not get a chance to follow your passion, whatever you are doing, please do it passionately, because that is going to help you out. Most of us will miss on to accepting or professionalizing our passion. But it is not important what you're doing. What is important is what you're doing is how you are doing. Give you 100% and do it with equal zeal and equal passion what you would have been doing your passion actually.
That's well said. Follow your passion because yes, there is less called as luck, but more like following your heart. So your dreams know where should you be. So guys, just in case you have dreams, don't say no to them. Say yes and go for planning out how would you achieve those dreams. Well said, Abhinav. And I think it's more the message goes more from your end, wherein a small boy from a small town called as that state of Bihar, and that's Sivan, and now people look up to you when you go there. That yes, we have a professional walking up to us, but being all humble, as Anjuma mentioned. I really second her that achieving so much of success and then being so humble. I mean, this is usually a contrast which is rare to be seen. So I think following your heart and sticking to your root is not easy. So going with those emotional challenges and encountering them, being upfront, I think it takes a lot into your stride and fortitude. So thank you everyone for joining us here. It had been a real good discussion. Thank you all. And most especially thanks to Abhinav. And we are really wanting to see you on the campus sometime soon.
Definitely, ma'am. We'll visit soon. Let situation be a little more normal. Thank you, Anju, ma'am. Thank you, Jyoti, ma'am. And thank you, everyone, for having me here.
Thank you, Abhinav. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So with this, we wrap up the session of the Young Corporate Meet here from Jagannath International Management School, Kalkaji. So today, as this year ends 2021, just 2 more days to go for this year to end. But yes, believe you me, that 2022 is going to have loads of activities coming over from the campus, especially from the Alumni Club, the Young Corporates Meet. So with this, we had Amazon getting a rather more amazing with our alumni, that's Abhinav Raj. Well, more coming on your way, so keep yourself absorbed here and looking up to see you there in the next sessions as well. So subscribe to the channel here.
And thank you so much, Jyoti ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you so much for a wonderful session on, as always, Jyoti ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Ma'am, honored to always host our esteemed alumni. So students, keep yourself waiting and keep your hearts pumping as the next month, which is just after these couple of days, we'll have more sessions from the alumni. Thank you all for joining us here. Ma'am, may I leave the meeting?
What, ma'am?
Ma'am, may I leave the meeting now? Can we end the meeting?
Yes, yes, yes. Yes.
Right, right.
Yes, 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 definitely.
Right. Thank you all and wish you a very happy new year in advance.